Welcome back. So we're still here with Pacific War and enjoying it a lot. I think if you watched the War Room session last week where the chaps discussed with me how I learn games and how as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm perhaps not as spry in my mind as I used to be, or able to grok systems as quickly and as efficiently as I used to. I think this might be one of those circumstances. And so I'm making a video here at the risk of exposing my reading comprehension capabilities 100%. Because I tried to post a question online, and it was just on Facebook, so it was just a chat amongst a handful of World War II Pacific War Gamer folk. It's the World War II Pacific War Games group, funnily enough. And my question was, if I have two task forces, or I have a number of task forces, and I'm in the Operation Player Contact Phase movement phase, Rule 23.4, this is section D here, right, which deals with ship movement and task force movement. The way I read the rule, and I'm going to read it out to you and all that sort of fun stuff, because I want your opinion. The way I read the rule is that I move all of the task forces one hex. All right, so they're here, they go up one hex. Everybody moves one hex. Then I swing over to here into the dark to the naval movement track, and it's on the 0, and I move it 1 because all the task forces moved 1. When we get onto these gray boxes, we have to adjust this the day track, and it would go forward 1. I then come back over here, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to keep moving because the reaction player hasn't told me to stop, and he can't see anything now anyway, so he hasn't been able to search, and he didn't search, or he wasn't successful with his searching or anything like that. So I move another hex. Okay, so now I've moved 2 hexes. I go back over here, and I move this 1. Now, if I had 15 task forces, I would still only move this 1. So I could have task forces all over the Pacific, and it's the beginning, it's the Operation Player Contact Phase movement segment, and we're moving all of the task forces, and the elapsed time is 1 box on the naval movement track. And every time I get to a gray box, I then advance it a day. And to me, that kind of makes sense because all the naval forces are moving concurrently. They're all doing their things. It's not like they're doing things sequentially and we're running through 11 days, right? So let's see what the rules say and see if that supports that, or if I just can't read correctly. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit so you can all see it as well, and maybe we can dig in here together. So each activated task force can be moved a variable number of hexes depending on the operational intelligence condition, yada yada yada, and the decision of the reaction player. The operation player begins by placing the operational naval movement marker on the 0 box, which we did, space on the naval movement track, and both players then have 1 opportunity to search for one another. Okay, so that happens, great. The operation player then starts a move search cycle, and we're just doing movement, we're not doing searching right now. He moves all the task forces that he wishes to move 1 hex, which is what we did, right? Advancing the naval movement marker 1 space into the tinted 1 space, and advancing the daytime marker 1 space on the day track. Players again have an opportunity to search for one another, as they do each time the naval movement marker is advanced. Okay, and then you go see search and you do all the nonsense for that. So now I'm going to go down to F now and try and not knock the camera over. F, the operation player continues to move his task forces, not forces, 1 hex at a time, advancing the naval movement marker for each hex moved, not for each task force, but each hex moved, advancing the day marker whenever the naval movement marker enters a tinted space on the naval movement track, and pausing while both players conduct searches. Fantastic. The operation player ceases his naval movement in one of three ways, and we don't need to go into that because that's not what I'm asking the question about. So, whoa, I nearly did it. I'm on my old tripod here because I wanted to get the rule book in play to see. So I believe that's how a task force is moved in the operation player contact phase. If that's not the case, I would like someone to explain, like I'm 5, why and what you actually do. And that's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to share that with you. And this is a confirmation video. It's not an educational video. It's not a tutorial video. It's not an explainer video. It's just me sharing with my little self with you as I play. And this is nothing. This is how I've read the rules and how I'm playing the rules. And I want to validate that I'm doing it correctly because it makes a big difference. And here's why. And we'll just touch on this for 1 second, right? Here's the, let's get some light on that action there. Here's the day track. Excuse me. Here's the day track, right? And we're clocking through our days. And what we're going to do here is tighten up the tripod. Get that hair and dust off. That's a dog hair. Fantastic. We have a 28-day op running. So if I did do it the other way, we're going to run through the allotted time very quickly for the operation, is my understanding. And I don't think that's what's supposed to happen. So that's why I was a little confused here, and I wanted to confirm because I'd asked the question and didn't get the answer that I was expecting, except from one person. And I had it confirmed by a couple of other people, and I'm just wondering who's doing it wrong. Wouldn't be the first time I've done it wrong, but I thought I'd just share this anyway so we can get it up there, we have a healthy discussion about it, and we can all use this then as a reference point going forward. All right, all the best. Rule 23.4. Ciao.